Hello everyone, this is Zero Bellum and I'm here with another replay review. It's gonna be Arfool's Seer we're taking a look at today for, I believe this is 24-25, replay review 24-25, yeah. Anyway, they're getting longer again, so I'm just gonna be going through his skills really quick here. To start with, focusing on what he's good at. So Seer is pretty much an offlaner and a nuker. He has some potential for jungling as well, though I don't think we're gonna see it this game. Basically what he does in lane is he puts this thing, this is the Iron Shell, you put it on usually one of your own creeps, but you can also put it on one of the enemy creeps, but usually you put it on one of your own melee creeps, and then it will just damage things around it, so your creep pushes to the enemy creep, and then they just stand and fight, and you do a bunch of damage there, so even if you're far away you can get the last hit like that. You level this level 1, and then you hope you can not get ganked until you get level 2, and you get this, which is Surge. Surge just targets a friendly unit and gives it maximum move speed, and you use this to escape usually, or you can use it to chase, or you can use it to just in fights, or you can use it to make allies escape, and that's pretty good. It can be purged, of course, so purge effects you need to be a little bit wary of, like the Shadow Demon here has a purge, and also if you get disrupted, of course that's not super good, so it's not the best escapability in my opinion, but he can be a seriously annoying laner if you don't have anything that can deal with him well. So yeah, these two abilities really what you use in the laning stage, and the two others are kind of your team fighting combo. So there's Vacuum, which is basically a nuke, and you just mark a target area, and then every hero in that area, every enemy hero in that area will be sucked in towards the center and take a little bit of damage. And it's really the fact that you can gather an orb like that that's really good. And then you can place down your Wall of Replica, which does a little bit of damage every time they pass through it. And it also creates illusions that you can't control based on the enemy heroes. So you will either vacuum or wall and then vacuum, depending on how much control you feel like. It's slightly more efficient to have the wall down first, because then they'll pass through it and all that, but sometimes you have to get the vacuum first because they might escape or something like that. So you put down the wall, then vacuum, then they'll be sucked in through it, they'll get the damage from the vacuum, they'll get the damage from passing through the wall. The wall will create replicas, which does a certain percentage of the heroes it replicates in damage, and they will just be attacking random enemy heroes or enemy units around it. If the replica dies, another one can be created, so you can end up in situations like if they're standing in the wall of replica and they're killing the replicas, they'll just be spawning new replicas, continually be taking damage from the wall, and good stuff like that. So it's it's a pretty good ability. If Seer is facing like right here, is facing this direction, then the wall will be created so it's facing like this. Yeah, so the wall will be facing him always. You can't if you're standing like this, you can't make a wall like this. Right, okay, cool. So let's just go ahead and see what he does here. I think this the starting build is reasonable. I think probably he does have a lot of mana. Yeah, this is probably fine. Like, the only thing I would have is
Cleaver's edge will never dull.
It's only 70 mana for this Iron Shell, so I think 400 mana is fine for getting some farming through. Else, maybe a Clarity might have been okay, but that's just another Iron Shell, so probably this is fine. Really like the Stout Shield, love to see that. So right off the bat, again, just like the last replay review I did, this is a pretty suboptimal lane. They've got two guys who want farm in the same lane. They've got two melees that want farm in the same lane. Of course, Seer was just, as we just talked about, is going to be using this Iron Shell, or wants to use this Iron Shell a lot to farm, but it's not really going to be necessary in this lane, because usually he's outlaned, or not really outlaned, but he's usually in a lot more pressure in lane. This thing's really good against melee heroes like Faceless Void, of course, because Faceless has to get close to get last hits, and that means he'll go into Iron Shell range and take a bunch of damage. So that's really good. Iron Shell, of course, also you use to jungle, so you're not going to see it this game, but you could do like just stack up this cap and then just put Iron Shell on yourself or on one of the creeps in the camp, and then just use the area of effect to do a bunch of damage. It does a stupid amount of damage, like it has a 20-second duration. Even at level 1, that's 30 times 20 is about 600 damage per target, it can deal if it's like the full duration. Of course, you'll never actually get the full duration, but yeah. So anyway, just a quick note: they have bad lane here. You want our Darkseer to be solo. He's in lane with the Pudge. As usual, they have too many carries problem, and yeah, it's gonna hurt them a little bit. It's gonna hurt them a little bit. So probably I would like to see Pudge go down here, since they have a Doom in the jungle, and the Doom in the jungle is fine, but not this lane here is not fine. So Pudge here, not really doing himself any favors. We're just gonna take a look at the last hits. So despite this kind of bad lane, I should note that the opponents have the same thing going on. They have a Kunkka and Faceless Void in the same lane. So that's pretty much the same thing. I mean, that's even worse because they're both kind of hard carries, and they both really want farm, both really want to get the damage up. Darkseer is not super farm dependent. Like most nukers aren't super farm dependent. Ah yeah, this is a good trick. He's gonna do a pull. You can actually do pulls here when you are this side. So this is just the deny pull. You can pull and then try to kill off this camp to get a little bit more XP like that. But he is just gonna do it to deny a few of his creeps. It's much easier to do on this side. It's very hard. I don't know if you can actually do it on the other side. So it's a bit of an offlane advantage on the Radiant side. The offlane is much better on the Radiant side. Unfortunately, the game isn't quite even. But yeah, we see Darkseer is surprisingly, with this kind of lane, actually still kind of leading in CS. Though he is against double melee, and we see FaZe is kind of struggling a little bit with the Iron Shell here. Not really liking that. He is taking a lot of damage from it. The one thing is, it can be a little. If you get zoned very efficiently, it can be a little. You can get zoned pretty badly. Where did Darkseer go? He went down here. Okay, so probably he was trying to save someone down here. From the oh shit! They already lost the tower. Yeah, they already lost the tower. So maybe he was TPing in to save the tower. Let's just see. Yeah, probably, like, we don't have the communication, as I'm want to say. Yeah, okay, so he TPs in here. Should have probably just cancelled this one.
Dire's bottom tower is under
See, there we go. There's the Iron Shell. Okay, thought that would be the Surge. No, it's just gonna be the Iron Shell. Okay, so that was a pretty dangerous TP. I don't think I like it. Darkseer not really one that can contest it, especially not if you're only level 2 and you're against the level 4 Axe. Okay, this is just bad. Don't want to be fighting this guy right now. The Axe is, you know, Darkseer isn't a fighting character at this point. So this, I think, was, you know, it's a good thing to try and deny towers and stuff like that, but it's pretty fruitless in this case. Like, you're not at a level where you can do that, and you really kind of need to be in lane to do stuff like that. Oh no, I mean, you need to be in lane to get levels, not to be in lane to deny other towers, of course. And just hanging about instead of heating up, not helpful either. So wasting a little bit of time there, not a huge deal. This looks like it's gonna be a soul ring. This is pretty normal. You use a soul ring just to get a little bit of mana sustainability for your Iron Shell. It does become a lot of mana.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You were a good match for the Spirit Breaker.
You can delay your boots on this guy just because when you have an ability that maxes out your move speed, the boots won't be doing anything for you in the situation where you really need it, like the situation where you want to escape or you want to chase. You can just use your surge. Yeah, you will see him jungling a little bit. This is good, though. You know, the small camp maybe not my first choice. Now he's gonna go and here, try to make something happen down here. Oh, this is good. The Axe just getting really fat here. He's just having a really good game, this Axe. It's a really good game. So he's just gonna move up here again. There we go, there's the Soul Ring. Pretty good, pretty good. Dodge, almost had it there. And there's Faceless Void. Or first Chronosphere. Of course, Faceless Void is one of those big ultis. Big ulti heroes need to be aware of. He's gonna get killed. So, a bit of a fight there. I think this was pretty reasonably done by our Darkseer, but let's just go back to it a little bit just because I want to see exactly if we could have done something here. If there's anything better that could be done. So, quite a long fight. Comes from here. There we go. So did he use it already? Yeah, he used this already here. So we're gonna go a little bit further back here. So, and let's just take the perspective of Darkseer. Yeah. Here. Missed the hook. Here, vacuum. I don't like this vacuum. And now, there we go. Face this void, takes advantage of the situation. They do manage to get the Shadow Demon, so that's good. But they trade with Pudge, which isn't super good. Normally it's not bad at all to trade with Pudge. They're gonna get the Faceless Void on the backside of this. So this was so far he couldn't have done anything super much better. I kind of like the Iron Shell on the Ember here. Though maybe I wouldn't have surged him away there. And here you could, you know, maybe Vacuum would be good. But it's hard to say, like, the Sand King doesn't have any mana. So I think this was pretty optimally played.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're gonna keep fighting. Now you're out of mana. And you didn't have mana enough for a Surge, actually. So that was a little bit dangerous. There we go. Surging the Ember here is definitely the right thing to do. Ember is a much higher priority hero. Important that you, if you have the instinct to just try and save yourself, you need to squash that. And, you know, save your carry. So, I think that was, didn't turn out super well for them. They did get the Faceless Void, who is the guy you really need to keep down this game. But otherwise, that fight was pretty mediocre. What? Isn't it that now? Keeps changing with which key it is. I think it's because the language settings on my keyboard change. And now he's gonna do what he's wanted to do the whole time. Just farm up the lane with his Iron Shell. Go. Alright, we've got a bit of a pause. Yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff. He's got his boots now. It's pretty okay. Pointless X marks the spot there. Don't really know what he's planning there. So yeah, this is Darkseer's laning stage. Not super exciting, but really efficient. I don't like that vacuum. Vacuum's cooldown is pretty long, 28 seconds. Good move by the Kunkka there. So let's just take a look at that again, because that was actually quite beautiful. So Darkseer comes down here. He wants to TP down here, but the Kunkka managed to get vision on him. If he just walked right around the corner here, he thought it was safe here, but you know, the one thing you could do here is just walk around the corner and you know, break that vision. Also make it a little harder for your enemies to know what you're doing. It's a very small thing. In this case it ends up costing him because the X-Master Spot brings him right back. They can just combo with the Torrent. Yeah, Torrent, and that's a dead Darkseer. A little bit of a kerfuffle down here. Yeah, so they're getting the short end of the stick right now, definitely. His team is doing quite badly. Yeah. Look at the hero levels. Void is leading, which is bad. Don't want that to happen. Darkseer, understandably, is doing quite badly on levels. He's not often the highest level guy on the map. Oh, I forgot to check out where he was now. So let's just see. He just ran out here. Okay. So he just basically runs out here and he's gonna start farming up mid. Same thing as always. Damage over time. Okay, yeah. I like that wall. I like that wall a lot. I was just about to say damage over time is usually not the best for farming up lanes, just because it's hard to get last hits with it. It's much easier with large bursts of damage to get last hits. But in this case, the damage from Iron Shell is just so massive. So here, Axe is gonna come in and do what Axe does. He's gonna get a good dunk here. And I like this wall replica. This would have been a triple kill for the Axe if it wasn't for that wall replica. Now, the wall replica is particularly good against Axe, so let's just take a moment to examine exactly what happens here. So, go Axe. He's gonna get the kill there. Now, every time Axe spins here, it might be hard to see, but every time Axe spins here, he'll kill the Axe illusion, and another one will be spawned, and he'll take the damage from the wall again. And as soon as they spawn these guys, they do another swing, so they'll actually be doing I think it's 60%, 70% of Axe's damage to Axe himself. So these guys have, yeah, about 70 damage. So he'll take a lot of damage there. So that's what happens. And actually, those attacks will also trigger more spins. So Axe can get kind of screwed by these things. Yeah, normally you want many attacks, normally you want all that. But, you know, not in this case, because you're only killing illusions. That's obviously not going to get your kills, which is what you really want. But good move by the Axe there overall. It's very hard to know that the Darkseer would do this, but it was a very sharp move, exactly the right move in this case. Normally, you know, normally it's better to save the ability, but in this case, you know, getting the kill on the Axe quite a high priority target. So yeah, putting an Iron Shell of yourself before you TP out, very smart. Very smart indeed. Don't like that vacuum. That vacuum accomplished pretty much nothing. Here he could have searched the Sand King maybe.
Double kill.
Oh yeah, that was Hodgson having some fight down there. So, would have loved to see a search on the Sand King there. And you know, the vacuum kind of didn't do anything.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's no pause key, unfortunately, so you have to bear with me. He used the vacuum to put the Void here up on the high ground, and the Void is actually out of mana. So normally Void could just time walk down, but now he's actually out of mana. So it's a bit of a cute trick. You can, you know, if you're fooling around, if you're waiting down here at the rune at level 1, you can just kind of deposit them up here, and they'll have to TP out, or if they don't have a way to get down. So that's a little bit of an obnoxious trick you can do as Darkseer. Same thing with Rubik, of course. So he's gonna make it out. Quite a strong escape hero. Again, he could have saved the Sand King there, I think, if he just waited outside the Chronosphere. Of course, maybe he was afraid of being blinked on by the Axe, but he could have maybe just risked the search on the Sand King and yeah, made it out. So he's gonna head up here again. He's got his wall up again. Basically, having your wall is kind of your cue that you can fight really effectively again. You need to be aware whether or not you have your big ultis. Intercepting the creep wave here is quite good, because if you intercept the creep wave right here, it's gonna make it easier for this is not one of his allies, yeah, but it would make it easier for the Ember to pressure this tower, since there's no wave incoming. If there wasn't a hero here that could contest it. Now they can just... Okay, I don't like this wall of replica. I think this is a waste. Void isn't the hardest hero to kill. Certainly not when you have Search. Then I would much prefer that you just save the wall for another good occasion. So, one-man walls, if you can, you know, prevent a triple kill if you're in a disadvantage, is generally a good idea. Else, you know, save it for a big team fight. You want to catch like 2-3 heroes in there, generally. See here, if you had it here, if you had a wall right here, this would have been great. Unfortunately you didn't, so that kind of sucks, you know. Go, they're gonna get the Arfool. Still gonna turn out alright, but they could have definitely gotten the Axe there as well if they had the vacuum wall combo. Just because that combo, as we just discussed, kind of disgusting against Axe. Kind of really good against Axe.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, he's gonna run into a Faceless here. Faceless is just not gonna see him. but he's kind of tolerant on killing their Doom. So just gonna jungle up a bit. I don't think there's anything too wrong with that here. He does have wall up and he does have mana for it, but not for the combo. Like he can Soul Ring for the wall. He's got a mechanism, which is pretty good. Pretty good on him. Yeah, but it's just sort of situation just sort of devolved on him now, and he just got caught. He just got caught by the axe here. So probably a case of better situational awareness would have saved you. Probably maybe carrying a TP. Being a little bit too aggressive on finishing the mechanism.
Radiant's bottom tower
Generally,
is
it doesn't
under
look
attack.
like he's too keen on just saving himself off of team fights, which is where he really excels. So stuff like being out of mana there, and yeah, being out of mana there, not having enough mana for your combo, and yeah, that's just being out of position there was kind of what made the the thing happen. Axe again, gonna try with jump in. There we go. There's the wall. There's the combo. That was decent, not super good. But he has the potential at least to do something there. Good burrow strike from the Sand King.
More stand.
I think that wall of replica was pretty good. Like
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It was a two-man one this time. He did manage to get them back in and did a bunch of damage. So I think that was pretty good. Pretty good.
Dire's top tower
It's
is
not
under attack.
it's not like game breaking. It's not like that 5-man Echo Slam we had in the F-Sega game the other day. But it was definitely I think the most textbook one yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Hurrah from here should just have pulled off. Like, this is just dumb. Flat dumb, aggressive, crazy down. There's X. Wanna go in again? Of course.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Oh. Ooh, that boat.
Triple kill!
Yeah. Yes, don't wanna... That was just a bit of a chaotic fight. I don't know if I really say there was any super big mistakes there. You kind of had to pour everything on this axe, because if you just look at what he's got, this axe, he's yeah, he's doing for 20 minutes in the game. This is pretty decent. He's 9 and 4. He's doing pretty well. Their Ember has gone arcane boost. Okay, usually you get phase boost on this guy. He's got the Sleight of Fist. You want to get his damage up, and phase boots is really good for that. Generally don't need arcane boots. Like, he is a spammy hero, but I mean 50 mana cost, it's not gonna break your back. Like just get phase boots. It's much better. The Doom is pretty much a Midas at this point. Not. Yeah, okay. He's at his BKB, so he's Midas BKB power threats, which is not too bad at 20 minutes, I guess. It isn't like astoundingly good, but he has died 6 times, so what can you really expect? Sand King doesn't have his blink leg. He's kind of getting there. Yeah, our Dark Seer, we know what he has. So mechanism here, I like this. There's not another one who wants to buy the mechanism here for his team. So the mechanism is a pretty good item on our Dark Seer. He's pretty large on what item he gets. But yeah, it's just they kind of. My point there was just they kind of have to go all out on trying to kill that axe there. So the axe just playing quite well there, and the Kunkka following up nicely. Like that boat just wrecked them, shipwrecked them. Haha. So constant fighting going on. Darkseer's gonna come in here. They're gonna have a bit of a standoff. Looks like.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So go. So despite the wall being kind of good here, okay, they might get the Shadow Demon actually. Yeah, they're gonna get the Shadow Demon with the wall, so that's something. Though it's not too much, of course. What are these illusions doing? Oh, he's controlling them, is he? Yeah, he is. Okay, so they can be controlled. I didn't know that actually. thought they were just what's it called, AI control. So okay, this wall is actually gonna just pay out dividends. Oh, almost got the Kunka. So that was a really good wall, turned into a really good wall. Yeah, it's just kind of good. So back to farming. Finally, a little bit of a breathing room to get some farming done. I might actually say in this game, I think the Darkseer should have been getting wards. Let me just. I want to get the point done here. So our Sand King does not have Blink Dagger yet. Sand King really needs a Blink Dagger. If Sand King gets a Blink Dagger, you guys can combo insanely, and that's much higher priority than your Aghanim's. Like that's just the highest priority item right now. And we can see the opponent actually has quite good ward coverage. I don't know if they've been de-warding efficiently. I haven't been paying attention to that because we haven't been watching a support play. But I don't know if he's been de-warding well, but if the Sand King's been spending money on wards, it would be better to have the Darkseer do it in this case. Even though, you know, you are the offlaner, even though you want some item progression, you know, it's a higher priority on the Sand King. So, you know, once you have that Soul Ring, that's sort of what you need for now. So the Blink Dagger just takes priority. You have an easy time placing down wards with your Surge, and yeah, you can just get those Observer wards. So Marathon's gonna come in here. We're gonna see. Yeah, Meg's gonna actually want to fight this. Misty, yeah, okay. Missed the vacuum, not a big deal. Oh, there's an axe. So, right. You didn't have any walls, like we just talked about. There was nothing over here to spot this movement from them. If they had been, could have just ran out here and used as TP, just hide, and TP would have been the course of action choice there. But you know, yeah. Oh, this Ember's it's pretty obnoxious.
Radiant's top tower
Darkseer being a little bit bored. If you're bored, or if you don't have anything else to do in when you're dead, just click around on your opponents. Just kind of go. Oh, if they have vision on, say this guy, Faceless Void. Oh, a Desolator and a Midas. That's something you might want to communicate to your allies, that they have a Desolator, might want to get some armor. And Shadow Demon has nothing basically. The Axe has still the same thing. He's been getting a lot of kills. I don't really know why he doesn't have anything else now. That's odd. Spirit Breaker has got Mask of Madness, and looks like he's gonna go into a BKB. I don't know. Okay. So anyway, that's something you can do. Yeah. And Darkseer is just kind of waiting here for a little bit. Go. He loves doing that. The search on Pudge. Just basically walk in a Pudge thing there. Did he just ward? Did you just ward, Darkseer? He just warded. Ah, good, good, good. Love it. Love that shit. I love seeing cores ward. Especially when there's cores that don't really have like a super essential item. And you only have one support that really needs an item like that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That was pretty cool. Let's watch that again. Let's just see. We want it a little bit sooner. Oh, I think we want it a little bit sooner still. There we go. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. So, let's see. Darkseer is running around over here. And we have Invis Sand Kings over here. Initiate with the Burrow Strike. That's a good hook. This boat hits absolutely no one. Axe gonna initiate on these two. Iron Shell is just gonna wreck Axe here. Sand King, very well timed. So the Burrow Strike, first thing that happens here is Sand King gets a Burrow Strike in, then interrupts Barathum. Then we have Darkseer managed to get down his wall and vacuum them into the wall again. So now they have these two illusions just banging on him. And now Sand King is... okay, I thought he was gonna do his ulti. Nope. So that was pretty well played. That was pretty well played. And they do manage to get a kill out of it as well. So they definitely... That move there won the... swung the engagement in their favor. And also putting the Iron Shell on yourself while Axe has you forced to... like Axe has the Berserker's Call. This thing that forces you to hit him. And you know, when you put the Iron Shell on your... Iron Shell on yourself... not Iron Shelf. When you have the Iron Shell on yourself, it will still be doing damage to him even though he silences you with the Berserker's Call. So, you know, it's... he isn't really preventing any magic damage from you by doing the Berserker's Call. Darkseer is actually kind of good against Axe. I hadn't thought about that previously, but this thing making me consider this a little bit. One thing I'd like to know is he's gotten power threads here, and I think that might be that's 900 gold. I'm not sure that's worth it. Obviously, don't want phase boots because that doesn't work with his surge. But maybe just tranquils. Maybe just tranquils. Tranquils or mana boots actually might be kind of good. You are having a little bit of mana problems, but I think the power threads might not be worth the investment for someone who isn't looking to right click that much. So yeah, we can just go back to the action.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Whoa! Whoa! That was actually pretty neat, though I don't think that was intentional. That was pretty neat. Was big chrono. I was gonna catch the axe as well. So catching the axe there, not what we want to have happen, but big boat. Hit 3. 5 seconds until that wall is up again. So, okay, I want to do something here. Okay. Here we are now. So they're looking to take this tower. They're all going to be up in a few seconds. Let's see what happens.
Dire's structures are fortified.
So the Sand King here is kind of too far forward, and he's kind of leading his team in. They're just hanging out way too far. Like, when these guys are about to spawn, you need to not be here when you're in no condition to fight. Like, you have no mana as the Darkseer, so can't really fight. Can't really fight at all.
Dire's middle
yeah, we saw what happened. Like, they managed to give up the chase, but Void just pursues in an excellent chrono. They combo it in with the bow. Good job on their side. The Darkseer is just gonna get chased down, and that is gonna be a tower. So that was what we call an overextension. Just overstaying your welcome after a one-team fight can turn it around. And that's exactly what they did here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. From the land beyond. Radiant structures off. Radiant's middle
so keep an eye on those respawn timers. They're super important. Super important. Go. Now they're just sort of scrambling for defense. Darkseer's gonna die now. So in a situation like that, probably better to just stay back until you're 5, because if you can't really engage at range and Darkseer can't do that, then there isn't a ton you can do other than get killed off. And now you kind of got killed off in a situation where that surge would really help your chase here. Though you're probably still gonna get the Shadow Demon. Yeah.
Searing heat.
Go. Oh, Sand King could have got that. So yeah, not the best. It's not really the best. Did buy back at one point. Probably to defend there. Yeah, that was probably a buyback to defend there. It's pretty good, but of course dying with it, you don't want to do that.
Unstoppable.
Yeah, I like that he's not looking to fight here. That was a lost fight right there.
Dire's middle tower has been
Haste as
denied.
Dark Seer isn't super exciting, of course, because you can kind of haste yourself. This is basically a haste surge.
Choppers are faster than ever.
Walk in, dismember, gonna get a nice kill there. There we go. Beautiful wall. Okay, this was pretty neat. This is a pretty neat fight. I wanna watch it again. So this was a good fight for them. Right. Let's just take this one event at a time. So I want a free camera for this one. There we go. Pudge. It's gonna land a walk in, dismember with haste. Pretty good. Okay, this is annoying. So we have a bit of an animation bug, so I'll just skip around a little bit, hope it goes away. Oh, it didn't. Stacks here, this looks so dumb. Why is it doing that? Okay. I'll probably have to skip a little bit further back. Just getting tired of waiting
Dire's
here.
bottom tower is Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Faster than ever.
There's a walk in, remember? This is an easy kill. Pudge is just gonna walk into a faceless void down here then. I like the iron shell on him here. I think that's really good. There we go. There's the wall. Perfect wall. Like they're just standing there hitting on a on a really tanky hero. You can just get a 3-man wall and vacuum. Really easy. And look how much damage this is doing to them. Ember can come in, lay down that big thing. There's the epicenter as well from Sand King. That was the combo I was hoping to see. Epicenter and wall and vacuum. Not quite a wall vacuum combo, but just the epicenter just laying on that chaos. So here we see Void is gonna do Chronosphere, but there's already the Flame Guard and the Iron Shell just kind of dragging him down. So the Iron Shell and the Flame Guard here, really good abilities against Void because they aren't disabled for this. So if it's already low, it's kind of not really good for him. And now the wall illusion is still doing pretty good work. Kunga's gonna get kind of caught here, and yeah, he's just dead. It's a really good fight from them. Really good fight. Really love how that played out. Really good. Really well done. I think that was really good. I was just I don't have any feedback for that. How that could be done better. That was just played out perfectly. Probably from the opponent's side a bit overcommit. Like when the fight starts out with your shadow demon being picked off, maybe it's not a good fight to take. Maybe you just pull back, defend the high ground. And now they can
Dire's
try to
middle
pressure the
tower
high
is
ground of
under
it. There's
attack.
one thing, they don't have a very good pushing lineup. Yeah. Shadow Demon doing the same trick Darkseer did before with trying to defend
Dire's
alone
middle
too
tower
much.
is under attack.
Like he can't delay them significantly alone.
Dire's top
There's a
tower
few heroes
has
that can,
fallen.
like Keep of the Light can. Venomancer can maybe do something. But most heroes should just stay back until he has allies that are alive and can defend with him. Oh yeah, that Chronosphere cooldown so low. Yeah. So a bit of overstaying, you're welcome there again. Pretty normal stuff. Pretty normal stuff. Darkseer just checking around now, seeing what items people have. Pretty usual. He's going for an Aghanim's. And I should
Dire's top
just
tower
say
is
quickly
Radiant's
that
bottom.
the Aghanim's gives you more damage from the illusions. And is that it? That's, you know, it gives a lot more. So level 3 normal damage from the illusions is 90%. They do 90% of the hero the illusion is copied from. So it's really good against someone like Void who does a ton of damage, ton of right click damage, or like Kunkka also likes to do a ton of right click damage. I believe they also inherit crits, so that's something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. And of course with the Scepter they go up to 140%, so they actually hit very, very hard. And also, of course, the wall damage, the damage that you take when you go through the wall, the puny 150 magic damage nuke, that's negatable by BKB, by Magic Immunity. But the replica damage isn't. pretty much, this wall here pretty much goes through BKB. That's a good way to think of it. You don't need to worry about whether or not they have BKB on. The only thing is you can't drag them around with vacuum, so you can't force them through the wall that way. So there's that to consider.
Tower is under attack.
So I like the Aghanim's here. I think that's
Radiant
pretty good.
structures are fortified. Dire's top tower has
And here we see
Radiant's
Podge
middle
and
barracks are under
Doom trying
attack.
to do some stuff, but the
Radiant's
thing is,
middle
when you're
Radiant's
kind of
bottom
sacrificing
tower
yourself
is
to
under
delay,
attack.
you have to keep in mind whether or not you will actually be able to defend with you dead. In this case, they are going to be able to, because they had some really nasty fights. So we're just seeing the teams here. The teams here are just kind of taking turns, overextending and overstaying their welcome. So this has kind of been a whole seesaw here down mid, with one team going too far, the other team respawning, chasing, killing. And it's just, just learn from it. Just, pull out, get the chipping damage you can, and then pull out.
Dire's middle tower. Dire's
They
structures
probably need
are
the void and the
fortified.
axe up, so you can take this tower. And now back. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower
They managed to
is
get a good
under
fight, but
attack.
now the axe and the void is up. I would not want to stay here with the axe and void up. And Kunkka. We can run the bow in the
Dire's
shell
middle
combo.
barracks are under attack.
Yeah. Yep. So pretty much the same thing happened again. They stayed too long. They got wiped. They got a bit of a trade this time, but they still got wiped. So yeah, they got a tower, and then they got a bad team fight after a good team fight. So that's pretty much what's happening. Like, they just want to take just a moment to it, like, get the advantage you can, and then leave safely. You keep trading when you don't want to trade, and it's seriously even. So I can kind of see what's happening, but when you're so dependent on your Darkseer ulti and your Sand King ulti and your Doom, then it's not super smart having stayed around. And then you are now getting the boat that's up again. You are now
Radiant's
getting
middle
the
barracks are under
Chronosphere.
attack.
So that's super good. Not super good. So yeah, be happy with what advantage you can get. There's still a tier 2 up. There's still a tier 2 tower up. You could get that. They don't have any wards up. So Sand King did buy wards once. That I saw. That was good. Super good. And then he just stopped getting them. Now they're gonna smell out this Roshan anyway. They're gonna get wrecked by this Chronosphere and boat. Oh, another good wall.
Has been killed.
This is a pretty good wall. I mean, usually you want to stay a little bit back as the Darkseer. It would have been better there if he hadn't been caught by the Chronosphere. Here the Purge is just gonna smash him. Purge. This ability here, the ultimate from the Shadow Demon, really kind of screwing you over, because it's a big old slow, and it is a Purge like its ability says, and this thing can be purged. So even if you surge yourself up, if he has this up, he can just purge you, and that'll actually take away your haste and then slow you a lot, and then do a bunch of damage over time. So that's kind of what happens here. Shadow Demon is a really good counter to Darkseer, probably the second best one after Disruptor in my opinion. Once he hits level 6, because he has to have level 6, so Glimpse from the Disruptor is only a non-ultimate ability, so that's a little bit better. Kunkka's X-Smart the spot is actually really neat as well. I'm surprised that Kunkka wasn't able to do anything or do better against the Darkseer so far. So even though they got a really good wall there, I mean it's not doing too much.
In my dreams, annihilation. Dashed on the rocks.
The fight turns out okay for them anyway. Like, okay, the hero they really need to keep alive is this Ember. Oh, okay, this is just painful. Alright, I just need to get this out. So Ember, the way you want to run this guy is the bottle is good, the drums is decent, this thing's bad on him. Just bad. You don't want this. You don't want the arcane boots either. You want phase boots, and you want probably Battle Fury into Daedalus, because you want to just abuse the Sleight of Fist. That'll give you a you basically have a mini Omnislash with a 6 seconds cooldown, and that now cleaves and can crit. That's what you want. That's what you want, and you want the extra damage from the phase boots, you want the extra movement speed from the phase boots. You do not want arcane boots. Because what you can do is you can lay down a fire remnant, TP home, get your bottle up, get your mana up, and then just fire remnant up back out. And you know, this thing is on a... You get a charge every 35 seconds, so you can do this every 35 seconds. You're basically doing like the same trick that Tinker does with the boots travel. Slightly less powerful than Tinker, but or actually is it? I don't know. There's a... What the hell? That's a bit of a glitch. That looked really weird. The Doom just kind of
Radiant's bottom tower
clinging
has
around.
fallen.
Oh yeah, we just kind of... We should speed this up. I forgot to use the hotkeys for speeding up and slowing down last time, but now I'm doing it again. So. Go, Doom's gonna be solo chronoed. Chronosphere is such a good late game ability. Void, a really good late game carry. That's the one thing that's sort of bad for them here, is that they are out carried late game. And you're gonna beat this about half the time, of course. Unless you play only hard carries. But Void is really hard carry. Kunkka is a pretty hard carry. Doom is okay, and Embers is pretty good, but Embers got a shitty build, shitty build here. So that's one thing that's kind of doing better. So even though the Darkseer is doing fine, he's doing kind of good on farm, kind of really good on farm. There's the Barathum. Yeah, be careful with when you search up, and I don't want why this wall. This wall was just wasted. It's still on a like 100-second cooldown, so the wall is pretty bad. Okay, so he says he has a bit of lag, but that's, you know, I don't see how lag makes you put down a wall. Oh, one thing I should mention is this is just something I should make a point of mentioning every time this happens. So let's do an inventory here. Sand King melee, Doom melee, Pudge melee, melee, melee. None of these have a ranged attack. So you know, this ward here, the only way to kill this up here is by actually someone going up there. Yeah, that's just it. And it's also going to be very hard to harass in lane, except Darkseer is actually really good at harass with Iron Shell when it's against melee units. Or melee heroes.
Tower is under attack.
So you know, not having any melees on your team is a bad sign. They have enough synergy and enough well played here that it's pretty good. There's some really good synergy between the Pudge and the Darkseer and the Darkseer and the Sand King. And the Ember's just so strong in general that they can recover from it maybe, so let's just see how this goes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So, I like his item choices overall. I think this is really good. I don't know if his mech use has been on point. I haven't been paying too much attention to that.
Regeneration.
But it's been pretty decent so far. Void landing a solo one man Chronosphere there is not ideal. This is basically just a too aggressive push in, and Void, you never want this to happen where you are kind of isolated to do anything. Okay, the Axe is actually there. That's pretty tricky from an Axe. Clever move by such a dumb guy. I mean the Axe, not the Axe player, but Axe's character is kind of a meathead, so... Yeah, that's dead Axe.
And what?
Splat.
Finish it.
Yep. So, you know, be careful when you push high ground. You don't wanna overextend up a high ground. That can kill you very fast. And it's mainly at this point it's not so much about the tower damage as it is about, you know, having to go up a ramp where you don't have vision. and you have to go to a choke point, have to go up a ramp where you don't have vision, so you can quite easily be positioned out of position. And that's kind of what happened to the other team there. They got out of position. Even though the Darkseer didn't do anything too amazing there, they kind of just got slaughtered because they didn't manage to make their abilities full through for them. Darkseer misreading the situation. What happened there is... Okay, I'll actually just pause this for a second, because what happened there is Darkseer came around here, the enemies came out here, and he ends up being isolated from his team and just gets picked off. So pay attention to the minimap, pay attention to how things are going, and if you see that kind of thing happening, just turn right around, surge yourself up, get the fuck out.
Invisibility!
Invisibility indeed. This dude is so tanky. Trying to get a pick off on the dude like that. Vicarious. Good combo from them. Really good combo. And now they should definitely not go for this. They should not go for this. They should go right up here like this. There's creeps right here. They can take this tower easy. They should look for the incremental advantage to take down these racks. Instead, they're gonna go for these towers here. This is not gonna pan out for them. Fairly certain this is not gonna pan out for them, though they do force out 2 buybacks. Which is pretty good. Actually, they had everyone killed, so
is under attack.
yeah. When they have everyone killed, sure, go for it. Even if you're only 3, you could maybe just force a GG right there. But you know, when there's 2 buybacks, buybacks are super important. Super important. Forcing those out is really good. But the thing is, you need to force them out and then leave right away, because unless you're sure you can take the fight, you need to just get them to do the buyback and not get anything out of it. So, Seer's Guard here is really good. I want to explain really quick what this does. I haven't done that in any other video. It has an aura, which reduces the attack speed on your enemies, and it's actually quite a bit of reduction. And yeah, I think it's... Is it 40%? It might actually be 40%. Or 40, I think it's just flat 40, yeah. Aura attack slow is just 40. So it's most of like a Hyperstone in attack speed reduction, which is really good. And then you have that aura, which also slows their movement speed by 40% for 4 seconds, and does 200 damage. And it also gives you 15 armor and 30 intelligence. Mana pool is really good on Darkseer. We have seen him struggle a little bit on it, and with the Academies and this, he'll have all the mana he'll need. He's almost at 2,000, which is plenty. Like, he could cast all his abilities many times over. And you know, the armor's good. He's up at a lot of armor now. And you know, the attack speed and the blast is just really good. You can just kind of run people down with it and then just blast into them, and suddenly they've got a lot of slow.
Double damage!
So here they kind of have a small attack spot going. Doom on the Barathum I think is okay. Probably would prefer it on the Void here. Silencing up the Void, not getting the Voided out is super important. And the Barathum doesn't really have anything of that caliber to offer. Good wall, good vacuum. Go. Sand King doing a bit of a walk in epicenter there. Really good. Yeah. So they end up getting the better of that fight. A very chaotic fight, not super well played by either side. I want to see just fast.
With gratitude.
Oh, Maelstrom now. What
Dyer's
the
middle
fuck?
barracks are under attack.
Okay, I'm cursing more than I should be here, but
structures are fortified.
Simba's just not playing the hero at all like I would play it. I don't really know. Yeah. So, overstaying, you're welcome again. This is doing it constantly. This is like the only really bad mistake I'm seeing, aside from the no wards. Okay, there's wards now, but aside from, you know, lackluster wards and stuff like that, it's just been these constant overextensions by both teams. And it happens some games that you just see. It's just like, oh, they want to fight, and now they push too far off of it. They're trying to take too much of an advantage off of it, and then the other team just fires back or just flat respawns and takes a really good fight. And this just happens again and again. It's kind of frustrating looking at, because there's been several times when the other team could just have gotten racks and haven't. Just because they're trying to push too far. Yeah, and it's just happening again and again. And now he's going for Cypher Wise. Smoke here I like, even though, you know, if you want to smoke and take this, have someone scout this out. Yeah, I don't know how they can't really do that easily with this team. Though, you know, one thing you see Embers often do is just leave a Fire Remnant in there, so that they can just go in there in case of something happening. This is an odd kind of chrono. Okay, they got the boat combo off there, and that was really good, of course. Don't want to clump up against Void. Don't want to clump up against Void at all. And this is so. Yeah, these big combos can just make so. Yeah, I don't blame him calling GG there, honestly. Don't blame him at all. Now he's getting his Chrysalis up, actually. Oh! So we're not looking at the Sand King. We're not looking at the Sand King this game. But I want to see that epicenter again. That epicenter just looked so good. So let's just see that. Boom. Go. Oh, double kill epicenter. So good. That just saved them the game there, I think. Clutch. So clutch. That is a clutch play right there. That was
Radiant's
super
middle
good.
tower is under attack.
These ultis, so fun. Love watching like decent players work on these.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
I think
attack.
honestly, like if the opponent's got a pipe, this could clinch them the game so easy. Does anyone have a pipe? That's one of the really good ways to kind of neuter a combo like that. It's just getting a pipe against all the magic damage floating around from the Sand King and stuff. It will only negate 300 damage, but it's just so cost effective that I think it might be enough to clinch out the fight. Yeah, I'm gonna speed things up. There's quite a lot left on this game. Oh. Okay. Right. Okay, so that fight panned out. I don't think that was the best wall.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, we've talked enough about fights. They're gonna take Roshan off of this, and Roshan is the kind of advantage you can take safely. So the reason you can take Roshan safely off of one fight is that they have to get from here down to here, and there are no towers they can TP to. So it'll take them a long time to get from here. If they try to take Rax there, they could have taken Rax there. They should have probably taken Rax there, because there's an 80... Okay, Kunkka just died, but there's still a 30-second left from these two, so they should have taken Rax here. But if there isn't a lot of time, Roshan is a lot safer. If you think you have enough time, you can go for Rax. Roshan's not a bad advantage. Not bad at all, especially now that you can get it on the Doom. I believe it's Doom that got it. Yeah, Doom is just... It's 3,721 armor. Madness. Yeah, he's built pretty well. This is about the time when you're level 25. Probably sell this Midas. Probably sell the Midas. Okay, this wall here.
Top tower is
No,
under attack.
don't use the wall.
Radiant's
This is,
top
I'm
tower
gonna
has
label that a misclick. Because you can't farm creeps with the wall. It doesn't do shit to them. So I'm hoping that's a misclick, and I'm not gonna comment on it anymore, because that's just dumb.
Illusion.
The sheepstick he's going for here, the Cypher Vise. Really good, super good endgame item. Turning people into sheep generally makes them less effective. Oh, look, an axe. Yeah, not a lot to say there. His team is pushing in mid. Of course, he can give himself haste, so he can get there pretty fast. But probably should have been there.
Barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Okay, they got the Rex. Let's go, and good wall. Killing off the Void there, just kinda sealing the deal. Void and the Kunkka, super important here. That's really the damage dealers
Dire's
on
middle
the other team here.
barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That's kind of Baroffin's weakness. You can then interrupt his charges, Charge of Darkness with both his ulti and Charge of Darkness can be interrupted. So yeah, and Axe, of course. When you get to the point where his spins aren't doing much, Axe is not doing super much.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And I love going for more racks here. Just going for the racks, going for the incremental advantage here is really good.
Bottom barracks
Rather than just going for the GG. And now after this racks they should just retreat.
has fallen.
You could just put down an Iron Shell here. He sold his Soul Ring. Yeah, I guess you could do that here. Like the regen is actually pretty significant now. That the 50% regen of the Soul Ring is actually pretty significant when you have so much int. But I guess if you're getting a Cypher Vice, you're gonna have all the mana you want. If you can ever want. So. Again, it's a reasonable build from him here. I wanna clinch this game out. I wanna just get this finished, so speeding it up. Speeding it up. Boom. There's a Barathum. Charges in. There's the wall. It's a solar wall. Not super exciting. Gonna walk into the thing there. Good scythe there. Good scythe on the Void. Preventing him from using the Chronosphere is always what you should aim to do. Kinda lackluster ultis from our Sand King and our Dark Seer here. But you know, it's enough, like they just have... Just the fact that you disable the Void, just the fact that the Void's built really strange as well. I don't like the Academies, I don't like the Assault Koras. You should just get a monster right click on this guy. I like these two items. These two items are good. Get like a Butterfly, get like a... probably like a Battle Fury. There's a reason why he actually has the Battle Fury cosmetic, I believe. Yeah, he has the Battle Fury cosmetic. So just get the Battle Fury to farm up, get the start getting right click items. That's basically what you do. Like Battle Fury, Black King Bar, and like then the Desolator, and then you start to just wreck people. Once they're inside the Chronosphere, you wreck people. The Assault Couriers, you know, it's attack speed, it's armor. You know, when you're an agility hero, you can get those from just your agility. Just get agility items instead. Very few agility heroes want Assault Couriers for that reason.
Dire's top barracks are up. Dire's top barracks.
So now all the racks are down. There's a super huge respawn times on these guys. They can just push in for the win.
Dire's middle tower has
Alright, finally last game. So I want to take just the last bit here. Let's just recap. This was pretty well played. Would have loved to see some extra wards. Let the Sand King get some time to farm up. I think that was a pretty key point. I think he did a reasonable job using his wall. He has some really good walls. He did reasonably well on that front. Just gonna pause it here. Yeah, so very well played. Like the 13 deaths, some of them could have been avoided. There was a few questionable movements. That'll happen pretty much every game. But you know, just be a little bit more aware of the map. That TP in to try and save the deny or try to get the deny off on the central tower early on, kind of bad. Could have considered foresting instead early on. Though probably the Pudge should have gone to the bottom lane and laned with the Sand King instead of having the Sand King solo and the Doom in the forest. I like the item build. I think the item build is really good aside from the power threads. Consider, you know, I would consider power threads mostly if you are a right click hero. They do give a bit of stats, but the stats for 900 is kind of not a good deal. Just 8 of one stat for 900 is a pretty bad deal. Could have probably just accelerated your mech instead. Or if you got them after mech, you know, probably accelerated your Aghanims or what you're trying to get instead. Yeah, that's about my feedback for this Dark Seer. I think he honestly played a pretty solid game given what he had to work with. Maybe some more communication with the Sand King so to get a really good combo off there would have been better. I'm just assuming there wasn't a lot of communication there because they didn't combo super well. Like, they didn't manage to time it super well, and you can... Like, we don't have the communication, we don't have any of the text messages, we don't have any of the pings, so we don't really know what they were thinking, how much they were communicating. But super well played else, or pretty well played else. yeah, if you want to send me a replay, I've been getting a lot of replays I've been saying no to. If you have a lot of people who dropped, that's an automatic disqualification. I don't want to see games with people that drop. That's kind of makes the game a very different thing from normal games, and then it makes it a lot less educational. I don't mind if you have a lot of kills, like this Sand King score is a good example of, or not the Sand King, but the Darkseer score here is a good example of that. Like 16, 13, that's a lot of kills. 16, he obviously didn't have a crap game, but the fact that you didn't dominate, it isn't like 16 and 3, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain amount of deaths. I want to see a lot of deaths, or a lot of deaths, or just a kind of lackluster performance here. Not a dominating performance, surely. That's kind of what I'm looking for. If I'm seeing that, good, green light, we go. So yeah, if you want to send in a replay, the directions are in the descriptions of the video. Basically, just send it to the email AcademyOfTheAncients@gmail.com. Remember to include your MMR and what hero you are playing, if you have an MMR. Of course, if you don't have an MMR yet, that's an even better reason to send it in, because then I'll have a lot of feedback for you. This guy was actually pretty decent on the MMR front. Let me just check out what it said. There we go. This is 3.2k MMR. This is actually a 3.2k MMR game, which is pretty high. It's a slightly above average. It's pretty high compared to myself. Like, I am 2.8k, so this was pretty good. But by all means, if you are lower than that, please do send it in. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Consider subscribing and liking and all that good stuff. And if you have any suggestions or any feedback, please do leave me a message. And of course, also, if I got something wrong, it happens sometimes. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.